How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Let's Talk Football, and today we're talking FIFA and, more importantly, the invincible Arsenal team of 03-04 in FIFA 20. Now, what I've done is I've created the Arsenal team from that season just using the create player option, and I've replaced the current Arsenal team with the invincible team. And what we're going to do is we're going to put that team into the 1920 Premier League season and see if the Invincibles would win the league in current day. So going through the team, we've got 88 rated Jens Lehmann in goal, 83 Lauren at right back, and then in the centre half position we're going to go with 85 Kolo Touré and 87 Sol Campbell. You may not agree with some of these ratings, they were just done quickly. At left back we've got 87 rated Ashley Cole at 22 years old. Then 88 rated Robert Pires on left hand side, some really good stats on him at the age of 29. The captain Patrick Vieira in the centre, 27 again, but look at those stats, all stats just done from my own personal perspective of watching the Invincibles back in the day. The unsung hero Gilberto Silva at 85 rated, and 87 rated Freddie Ljungberg on the right hand side. Pacey player, 4-star skills. Then 34-year-old experienced Dutchman Dennis Bergkamp playing just behind 91 rated Thierry Henry up front. The main man of this team, good pace, good shooting, just amazing stats all around. I didn't realise the reserve keeper that season was just a young 68 rated Graham Stack. Experienced 37-year-old Martin Keown. Then they had a young Gael Clichy, 18 years old, giving him a 76 rating, went on to have a good career, obviously. The Brazilian Edu in the midfield as well, along with Ray Parler, who, personally, I didn't realise he was part of the Invincibles, but Ray Parler on the bench as well. And then we've got Sylvain Wiltor next to him, 29-year-old. He played on the right-hand side and up front, so I've made him a right forward, 82 rated. 19-year-old Jose Antonio Reyes, who's unfortunately no longer with us, 81 rated at 19 years old. Then we've got Pascal Siegen, who I never really rated as a centre-back. I know a lot of Arsenal fans didn't rate him either. By the way, I'm not an Arsenal fan personally. Then we've got youngsters Justin Hoyt and David Bentley, both 68 rated. Jeremy Aladier at 75, and then Kanu up front, 77 rated as well. So on screen you'll just see some of what I made the players look like. I tried to get them as close as I could. Looking back, I didn't really get Thierry Henry too good, to be honest, but I did what I could, and you can definitely see a striking resemblance on at least some of the players. So what we're going to do is we're going to put all these players and this squad into the 1920 Premier League season and see if the Invincibles can, 1, go invincible in the current Football Premier League, and 2, whether we can just win it, which I think is the more realistic aim. But we're starting away at St James's Park against Newcastle. The team is as we looked at a moment ago, and we started with a comprehensive 3-0 victory over Newcastle. Patrick Vieira double and Thierry Henry, followed up with a convincing home win to Burnley, 2-0 Henry on the score sheet, and then a really good 3-1 victory at Anfield. Mane scored for them, but Campbell, Ljungberg and Pires on target for us in probably is what's going to be one of our toughest games of the season. Followed up with a win in the North London derby and another win in London away at Watford, Thierry Henry striking a hat-trick in that one. Followed up again with another win at the Emirates, Pires on target, and then another good win away at Old Trafford, and another win against Bournemouth. So we're getting a lot of wins without conceding a lot of goals. Again, away at Bramall Lane, we struck 4 there before being halted for the first time this season at home to Crystal Palace. 10 men Crystal Palace. Ray Parler had to rescue us with 15 minutes to play in that one. So after 10 games, we're 5 points off the top, but with a game in hand. And we start the second run of games with a 4-0 win at home to Wolves. And then another 4-0 victory in less than a week away at Leicester, Pires scoring twice. 3-0 at home Southampton was to follow, Gilberto and the 2 centre-backs on the score sheet, and another 3-0 win away at Norwich, followed by another 3-0 win against Brighton. So you can see the team's performing really well. Another 3-0 again, so we're getting a lot of big victories to try and close that gap at the top. This was the big one at home to Manchester City, and unfortunately we would lose our unbeaten run, and that 2-1 defeat from the late David Silva goal would mean we wouldn't be able to make this team go invincible. But now our target is to just try and win the Premier League. So we started picking up more results. Away to Everton 3-0, away to Bournemouth 4-0, Lauren on target again, and another big 4-0 win in a London derby at home to Chelsea, Henry striking twice. Then came a 3-0 victory at home to Manchester United, a 2-0 win away at Palace, who are one of the only two teams to take a point off us this season, 2-0 at home to Sheffield United, 3-1 away at the Bridge. So we're building up a really good run of form in the middle of the season. 4-0 Bergkamp hat-trick at home to Burnley, 3-0 away at home to Newcastle, and then another 3-0 victory at home to Everton. We get a point at the Etihad. Bergkamp and Henry striking, Mendy and Aguero for them. So City have taken points off us twice this season. Back to winning ways against West Ham 3-1. 1-0 scraped away at Brighton. And that means after 30 games, we are 4 points off the top. We're going to have to produce something still with Liverpool to play. But we get a 1-0 victory away at Southampton, followed up with a convincing 4-0 home win to Norwich. A good win at Molineux, 3-1. And then 4-1 home victory against Leicester to follow. 4-0 in the North London derby. That was the best result of the season so far, maybe apart from the Liverpool game. But this was the big one at home to Liverpool to close the gap, and we beat them 3-1. Thierry Henry double and a Sol Campbell goal, cancelling out Mo Salah's effort. And then that meant the penultimate game, we won 2-0 against Aston Villa, which meant with the league as it is, all we would have to do on the final day of the season was to get a win at home to Watford. And you know, when you put the Invincibles into FIFA 20, I just could not resist playing a game with them. So that is what we're doing today. We are playing the final game of the season, knowing that if we beat Watford, Patrick Vieira will be lifting the title with the Invincible 03-04 side in FIFA 20 in the 1920 season. So I really enjoyed this whole Invincible thing. It's a real throwback to back when I first started watching football, which I consider real football. Obviously, football now is brilliant. You have brilliant players, a lot of money, but this was real football back in like 2004, 2005 time. So unfortunately for this game though, Robert Pires was ruled out through injury. So we started with Jens Lehmann in goal, a back four, the solid back four all season of Lauren, Toure, Campbell and Cole. Lundberg, Gilberto, Patrick Vieira and Sylvain Wiltor came on that left-hand side, with Bergkamp and Henry up front, the usual suspects among the substitutes. But we would start early here, and in the 10th minute Thierry Henry would cut inside and curl a trademark finish into that bottom corner past the Watford goalkeeper. Like I said, I didn't really get the lightning of Henry very well, but you got the idea. And Henry scores the goal to put us ahead and put us on target for winning this title. Now all we have to do is see it out. Look at this, Henry cutting in from the left-hand side, as he did so many times in his career, curling a perfect strike pass for Aurelio Gomez. So we would look for a second here. We'd put the ball out to Freddie Lundberg. Lundberg would take on the fullback, get to the byline, pull up it back, and Patrick Vieira flush on the volley draws a smart save from Aurelio Gomez. On the replay, you'll see just how well Patrick Vieira caught it, skidding off the surface, and Gomez got down very well to keep out the effort. So we're denied a second by the Brazilian. That wouldn't stop us from the resulting corner. We'd fling in a ball, it'd get cleared, and then I couldn't resist taking on a strike with Gilberto. Dipped just wide. I don't think that was ever going in, but I could not resist taking it on with the Brazilian. Watford would cause a problem here. Will Hughes put him through Troy Deeney, but Jens Lehmann smartly off his line to deny the Englishman in what would be one of Watford's only real chances in the game. But Captain Fantastic Patrick Vieira picks it up here, powers his way through and strikes an unbelievable hit into the back of the net, and that was the goal which settled the nerves a little bit. It put us on course, and from here we can just enjoy the rest of the game, knowing full well at full time we are going to be lifting the Premier League title with the Invincibles in the season 1920. Very fun to play with this team, by the way. Lauren came storming down this right-hand side. Amazing run. He could have squared it, but he drawed the save from Aurelio Gomez. A little bit more unselfish play. He could have just pulled it back to Henry. Watford would come forward again, though, trying to get back into this game as Malasar found Dolofeu, whose volley into the ground flies wide of Jens Lehmann's upright. But we played the ball down to Sylvain Wiltor here. He got past Jarry, I think Dawson with ease, pulled it back, and just past the penalty spot is Freddie Longbird to head us in to a 3-0 lead just past the hour. And a very convincing display from the Gunners so far. We are going to be lifting the title come the end of this game, which is lovely to see. It's just a shame we were defeated to Man City earlier in the season, or we would have done the invincible run. But we are going to finish with more points than the Invincibles did that season, which is, it's a good achievement, if you like. Aurelio Gomez denies Freddie Lundberg here. And the last action of the game would see Thierry Henry running clean through on goal. Can he put the icing on the cake with probably the last kick of the season? You know the Frenchman can. He slots past Aurelio Gomez in the 94th minute. Gives us a convincing 4-0 victory to finish the season. And now we know with that finish from Thierry Henry that we are definitely lifting the title. It doesn't matter what Liverpool have done away to Newcastle. Thierry Henry's 29th goal of the season confirms that we will be lifting the Premier League trophy. And then as soon as kick-off, it was full time, and it was great to see the Emirates Stadium celebrating. Obviously it was Highbury back in this day, but the Emirates celebrates a title win for the Invincibles in FIFA 20, which is, it's good, it's what we wanted. It's just a shame we couldn't go invincible. This was a really nice project for me to do. I really enjoyed making the Invincible team and playing with them in FIFA 20. To anyone who's watched this, if you want to see any more teams made in FIFA 20 and put into the current season, let me know. I'm thinking maybe the Liverpool 04-05 team, putting them in the Champions League, see if they can win it. Or maybe the United 99 treble winning season, potentially. But here you're going to see Patrick Vieira lift the Premier League trophy, donned with the red and white of Arsenal. Thierry Henry up there as well. But Patrick Vieira is going to lift it. Oh, I can't believe I didn't go invincible. That was the one thing I wanted to do. But at least we smashed 100 points. We smashed a lot of teams along the way. A lot of 3 and 4-0 victories. But Patrick Vieira lifts the title. And, I think that's job done. If you like this video, drop us a like and a subscription. Let's Talk Football will look to bring a lot more content, whether it's gaming or football, in the future. Let us know in the comments what you want to see next, and we'll see you next time.